Hello, this is Dr. Victoria Scorbo, speaking to you just outside of the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I'm doing this reading outside because my husband needs to use the computer in the area that I generally read, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. We are on Main Street. Sometimes it gets a little noisy, so I'll apologize for that right up front. So I've been thinking about the requests I've been getting concerning the whole situation we find ourselves in the U.S. with Donald Trump as president. And I've done a number of readings on different people, on Cohen and Rosenstein and Kavanaugh and Blasey Ford, and I've also done some readings on the United States and Trump himself, the new moon in Virgo, which actually occurred in his first house of his identity. So, and that reading is still continues to be valid, because that was a reading for the lunation cycle that began on the new moon and will not end until the next new moon. So I've been thinking about what I want to ask. You could ask how Trump is doing. That could change every day. He's a very changeable guy. He's always looking for the next thing for him to focus on or distract us from what's really going on. So what I thought I would do is I would just look into the relationship that Donald Trump has with Russia. Not necessarily what it has to do with the election, just in general his relationship with Russia. And we'll see what comes up with that. I'm going to do a Celtic cross, and if my dog stops walking through the leaves, maybe you'll actually be able to hear me. Let me see if I can get him to lie down. Hey, lie down. Come on. Lay down. Come on. Down. Sit. He's a Capricorn. He's got his own mind. Lay down. Nobody listens to me. All right. He's going to go through the leaves. Okay. Okay, so here we have the current situation or the current energy around this question. So we have the Prince of Pentacles. The Prince of Pentacles is a card that deals with the action of all the knights deal with the action of the element that it's in, and we have the element of earth, which is money and resources. Now the Prince is very planned. There's a plan here. The Prince is sitting here and sort of looking over the fields that have been sown and seeing how things are harvested. And so what I would say about this card is that this relationship with Russia has been a long-standing one. Things have been planted, and now they are waiting to come to fruition. There's a sense of careful calculation. Now I say that, and Trump doesn't seem very careful and calculated to me, so I would probably put that under the energy of the Russians themselves, and they are very careful and calculating, especially when it comes to money. All right, so let's see the crossing card here. The crossing card is the victory card, and it was upside down when I picked it up. So I believe the challenge is the fact that Trump won the presidency. I think that has been a challenge to this relationship. Now that's interesting. You would think that, like, that would be why, but at the root of the reading is the Seven of Wands. He gets this card a lot. There's a lot of blowback, but somebody has the upper ground here. Somebody has the upper ground. I don't know who that is yet. The past We have the Four of Cups, dissatisfaction. I think that this is Trump, and I think that he was dissatisfied with the fact that he couldn't get money from any American sources because of his bankruptcies and such. Couldn't get money from American banks. Okay, what's in the sky? Little Lord Fauntleroy. That's what I call this card. This is him. This is Trump. Self-satisfied and smug, as it were, at least in this card. Showing all his cups, showing everything that he has. Everything. I mean, right to the gold curtains. If you notice, whenever you see Trump, he's either sitting on a golden chair or there's golden curtains. That seems to be the color of choice now in the White House, gold. So he definitely has a sense of regality, or he certainly has if not a sense of regality, an expectation of that he's a monarch, really. Okay. But that Nine of Cups is an energy that's too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing. Too much self-satisfaction. Look at me. Look how fabulous I am. Okay, the immediate future. It's the Seven of Pentacles. So there is a sense of waiting for things to blossom. There's a sense of having worked and planted the garden. This card also deals with the need to cut away those things that are draining the relationship. So there's a sense of perhaps some pruning is necessary in this relationship. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what else comes up. How other people see it. This is the Sword of Truth. I think people see this as the truth, that he has a relationship with them. And full disclosure, I grew up in New Jersey. I went to college and graduate school and professional school in New York. So I'm familiar with Trump's, I didn't study them, but I'm familiar with his energy. I'm familiar with the way he sort of works. I was never a fan of The Apprentice, and I think a lot of people see him as he was seen in The Apprentice. So I never had the disbenefit of that. So the whole idea of him being a superstar, business person, never really sort of fell in my realization of who Donald Trump was. Okay, so the domestic situation, we have the woman alone. We have there's a sense of stateliness. So I would say that the relationship continues. Somehow the money is getting to him, and it could very well be. And what's interesting is in this card back here, there's like a pagoda or a palace where obviously this woman lives, and that could very well be Trump Tower, because Trump Tower is possibly, I say possibly because hasn't been proved, but I believe anyway that it's been a place where the Russians have had an opportunity to launder money by buying property in Trump Tower. Hopes and fears is I don't know. This is a young woman surrounded by water. I hate to bring this up. Because it seems so ridiculous. The pee-pee tape? I don't know. There's something about that, because it's not just, that in itself, everything that he's done, he's like the Teflon Don, right? But there's something about that. I don't know if there's something about it being an underage person or what, but that's the feeling I get from that card. The outcome. The Seven of Cups. This is illusion and delusion. This is the Seven Deadly Sins. So this sort of brings out the worst in Trump. It's interesting because as I read this, we have a lot of pentacles, we have a couple of cups, and the cups to me seem like Trump, and the pentacles seem like the Russians in this relationship. So I'm going to just pull cards until, see if I can get a major arcana. I get the Eight of Pentacles upside down. The Hermit. Now, I got this upside down, and I don't generally read cards upside down. Oh, there you go. Boo has something to say. Shh. It's alright, baby. Come on. The Hermit generally is keeping things to yourself, looking within. This card came as, I believe it was the, hold on one second. Hey, come here. Stop. This card came up as the, I think the outcome of the Trump reading for the new moon. But it's upside down. So I feel as though what would normally be hidden is no longer hidden, and I feel as though the truth will come out, and the whatever's hidden will be uncovered. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, then let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Got a big wind here, so hold on, I gotta hold my cards down. Okay, so what's at the bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. I often see this card as Trump. This is somebody who's always looking for the next thing. He's on the throne, but he's distracted with ideas, new ideas. So it's interesting. I think the truth will come out, but for some reason I don't think that Trump is going to serve any time for it. I think he's just going to go on to his next big idea. Now, what that means and how that's going to manifest, I have no idea. But it's very interesting, you know. So I think a lot of what's going on with the Mueller investigation is really following the money kind of thing and seeing where all the connections are. And what strikes me about Trump is that I feel as though everybody connected to him, everybody who wants to get in his orbit, gets tested and held accountable, but he will not. And it's almost like he is a conduit of karma for these people. Now, he'll have his own karma, but whether or not we'll see it in this lifetime, I don't think we can get connected to that or associated with that, because, you know, that's his karma. It's not our karma unless we make it our karma, right? So I would say that this is a long-standing relationship. It probably started in the 80s when he was having his financial problems, or the 90s, perhaps that was the 90s, because the Russian mob was very big in New York and still is very big in New York, and has a lot of influence. So we'll see, but long-standing relationship. They are the more patient, and he is the more emotionally volatile. And I think he will use Russia just like he's used everybody else. And if it follows suit that, you know, everybody who gets in his orbit gets called to the carpet for what they do and held responsible, perhaps that means Russia will also get held responsible and uncovered. And I think that, you know, who knows, maybe that's going to help Russia as well, because those oligarchs are pretty repressive, and there is an energy in Russia to be free of that, and you know, we'll see. I mean, I guess Trump isn't waking just us up, right? All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can hear it. I don't know, with the wind and the dog barking and the leaves, but it was a good reading, so I hope you hear it. I liked it. Have yourself a great day. Comment below any requests. Please feel free. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.